by John Gachie, journalist and expert on South Sudan Affairs. John, thanks very much for joining us. So why do you think the unofficial Abyei referendum suggested the majority want to be part of South Sudan and North Sudan?
Let's get this clear. It is the Dinka Ngong that have said they want to be part of South Sudan. Now, Abyei is predominantly inhabited by at least two major groups. Of course, there are a lot other smaller groups. The bigger one is the Dinka Ngong, who were and are affiliated to South Sudan, ethnically, politically, and historically. Now, those are the people who have carried out an official referendum.
Yeah.
Now, am I surprised? I don't think anybody who knows South Sudan would be surprised by the results,
Right.
depending on who took part. If then the Misria, or the other group that have laid claims to that region, if they were to vote, then I would not be surprised if they said more than 92% they would like to go to the north. And that is the crux of the matter of Abyei.
Right.
That it's contested by both parties.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yet the Misria boycotted this poll. So is this a sign that things are not okay still?
Yes. One, diplomatically, there has not been a consensus as to how to go about the referendum. However, in the signing of the CPA, that's about 7 years ago, 2005, there was the Abyei referendum.
Right.
And that has never taken place. And it was supposed to have taken place at the same time with the other larger referendum on 2/11. Now, the issues at stake are that the Ngok Dinka, that's the predominantly people in that region, feel more affiliated, connected, linked historically and ethnically to the south. Now, the Misria, who are coming to that region, for nomadic, for posture and what have you, feel affiliated and more linked to Sudan. So those are the issues as who really is the real inhabitant of Abyei.
Right.
That's the core. Now, will this change? So far, I suspect that both countries and both groups are using this as a test run to kind of send some signals to the other party that we really must strike a deal on this one. If not, then it could get a little nasty.
Well, they have both rejected that South Sudan, and even the AU. So then how is this going to play out?
For the Dinkas, I think, the Ngong Dinkas in the region, I think they're sending a signal that we want to be with the South. Now, it's some kind of a process to raise the political ante, all right? To raise the political pressure and to kind of force the international community to address the issue of Abyei. It's been kind of left in abeyance. It's been hijacked by a lot of other issues outside. And I think by this very referendum, they are hoping that they will draw the attention of the international community that we cannot be held hostage for too long. That's my reading. Yeah. And if you ask, did the government of South Sudan support them? Certainly they would not say they did. They would not. But you get the feeling that politically undercurrents is that who are these people who were leading the referendum? Some of them are former and fairly senior members of the Sudan People's Liberation Movement, were former senior government officials of the government of South Sudan. They are not in power now, but I would not be surprised if they are doing that as a kind of a signal.
Right. So then, I mean, like you said, in 2005, Abyei couldn't vote. Obviously, it was a very disputed region.
Yes.
Now we have this other poll that still is in dispute. How then can this issue of Abyei be resolved?
I think diplomatically, both parties, that is, the key parties, the government of South Sudan and the government of Sudan, must, in a way, try and find a middle ground. What is the middle ground? Can Abyei be ruled as a kind of a core arrangement where then you share power, or can Abyei be surrendered to either of the parties? And what would that mean politically, strategically, and economically? Those are the issues, and the African Union and the international community is caught up now how to disentangle, because Abyei is at the heart of the matter. It's emotional, it's political, it's security, and it's oil. And I think both parties are looking for what I would call a win-win situation. And I think the international community here needs to bring both parties together to kind of find a middle ground. And I'm seeing that perhaps the Abyei referendum now by the Ngok Dinka, they're trying to force the hand of the international community. That's my view.
All right, let's leave it there for now. Mr. John Gachie,